Wow. Super. Is that like the UK warehouse scene or underground scene? Like, what is that? That was like super strong.
Yeah, I kind of like, well, kind of Berlin techno, kind of. Yeah, but there's a big scene in London, I guess, as well.
Super.
Yeah.
That was absolutely amazing. I want to say thank you
No, thanks so much.
for coming all the way from London to hang out and talk to me. How did you find out
About the station.
Yeah.
I was just looking online at different kind of techno kind of podcasts and things like that, and like underground music podcasts and radio stations, and then this came up on my SoundCloud, and I had a bit of a listen to a few other things.
It came from your SoundCloud?
Yeah, so yeah, SoundCloud is where I found you guys from, I think, or something else. Yeah.
What? So, let everyone know who you are. You know, locally in Orlando, like you've been shared to like a couple different states, cities, as well as countries. So
yeah, so
this is your like American introduction.
Yeah. So I'm Light Girl. I'm a DJ, in case you haven't guessed. I mainly play techno and tech house.
Okay.
So yeah, I've been doing this for about 4 or 5 years now.
Yeah. So I heard kind of the background of how you got started. So you were in the band, right?
Yeah. So when I was younger, I used to be in. I used to kind of songwrite a lot, and then I was in kind of a few different bands, but none of them really went anywhere, and it's kind of always hard to rely on people. But I've always been super into music, so
that's a big thing over there, right? The bands and like the rock bands and the the heavy metal.
Maybe not heavy metal these days, but
not back in the day though.
Yeah, back in the day, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've always been into music, and I've always I play guitar, bass, drums, played violin for years, so I've always been into music. But obviously with bands, it's quite hard to rely on other people, and they're not dedicated enough.
Yeah.
But with DJing, it's kind of just you make your own path, and yeah.
And that's how you got started.
Yeah, I mean, I've always loved like making playlists and making things for kind of parties and stuff like that. And then I think one Christmas in uni, I was like, oh, I'm gonna get myself
uni.
College, you guys say.
University.
Yeah.
I heard that my homeboy Eggy is from he's from London. No, he's from Portsmouth.
Okay, yeah, south of London.
Yeah, I spent the week in Portsmouth. This was dead. I went to Tiger.
Oh wow, yeah, that's probably like the worst club in England. Most people would agree.
Really? I think Jackie, you know who Jackie is? He told me the same thing. He was like, "You went to Tiger."
Yeah.
Dude, what the fuck?
Pretty bad.
Yeah, but it was the only thing there though.
Yeah.
It was the only thing there, and that's where all the unis went.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what's up. So you began, because you want to go solo, depend on yourself.
Yeah. And
now you're here. Like I know you've played festivals, you've played, clubs, and you're playing pretty close to Egg, right? I love Egg. We already talked about it.
Yeah. Egg's great. So I'm from pretty close to Egg nightclub in London.
Yeah.
But yeah, played a few places in London. Well, quite a few places in London now. I've played Ministry of Sound a couple of years ago. And outside of London, I went to Ibiza last summer and the summer before. But yeah, that was great. That was great as well. Yeah.
Wow. But I just want to draw everybody's attention to your iced out techno chain. So are you like a techno snob?
I don't know. I'm not going to say so myself. I'm not the expert, but
not the
I know my
expert.
some of my stuff. Yeah, but I wouldn't say I was the expert, but I love the necklace.
Yeah.
It was I can't remember her name. Made by this girl in Bristol. She designs jewelry, stuff like that. But if I could remember her name, I'd give her a shout out. But
give her a shout out. So as far as like musically and things like that, you're drawn to what side are you drawn to more? The dark side, because that was super dark.
Yeah. So with techno, I tend to play techno and house. With techno, I tend to play kind of the super kind
warehouse.
Yeah, the kind of dark stuff. I mean, if it's kind of at all happy, I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I just, kind of want the kind of deeper kind of techno stuff. But I also play house as well.
Yeah.
And then the house side is kind of the other side. So I guess it's kind of two sides to my personality. So my house mixes are quite, tech house mixes and house mixes are quite, happy, getting people dancing kind of thing. And then techno is kind of the opposite. But yeah.
Wow.
But I think I'm getting playing more of the techno side these days. So
why is that though? Is that what's in demand for you, or is it?
I think it's just, I think a lot of people, because I think I don't know a lot about here, but a lot of people in England kind of go through the journey if they listen to house music and kind of like poppy house music, then they kind of get into tech house, and then you kind of look for something kind
Techno.
of a bit deeper and like darker, and then eventually end up at techno, and you can't really go any further.
After Hours Underground.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how was it over there for like, you know, so you are the first, I would say, like, you know, considered like a local artist to come on here from the UK.
Okay.
So I know the mainstream is huge, you know. And how is it working for, you know, being an underground artist and an underground DJ, and like how, because like here, you know, it's, you know, you get a lot of work. You know, you get the big artists come in, you do a lot of work with the big artists. But as far as in the UK, how is that, or London, you know, how is that working for you?
I mean, I think there's, I don't know about here, but there's probably a lot more people wanting to go into DJing and DJing like this sort of music in London. Yeah. So it is quite competitive to try and get kind of shows and gigs and stuff like that. So, yeah, I'm not sure how it works over here, but it is quite, there's a lot of like playing for free and all of those kind of things, or even paying to play sometimes. There's a lot of promoters do things where, oh, if you sell 10 tickets, then you can play at this gig, and you don't get paid for it. The promoters get the money anyway. Yeah. So there's a lot of that, which isn't great. But in terms of the rest of Europe, I've heard it's a lot better in like Scandinavia or Berlin, and they see it more as like a real job. Whereas I don't know, in London, I think promoters just think, well,
I want the money.
Oh yeah, I'll pay.
Because is it a bigger? I would be sure it's a bigger scene, correct?
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean,
you got a saturation of artists and DJs, so
yeah, quite a lot.
Who would do whatever.
Yeah, and a lot of people I think move into London from other places because of all the clubs that kind of play house and play techno and stuff like that. So then move from other areas of England, other areas of Europe into London or Berlin or something, and then it kind of gets saturated. Yeah.
So are you moving towards, you know, the other countries? Are you trying to get to those other locations, or are you sticking strictly to?
Yeah, I'd like to do I'd like to play more of Europe and stuff. That's kind of where I think I'd like to go. Maybe Berlin, Scandinavia. It's just kind of getting the kind of contacts and like
you gotta
meeting
uproot
people.
Yourself and go, right?
Yeah, and just kind of, I think it makes such a difference kind of being somewhere.
Are you willing to do that?
I mean, I think even if you go there kind of for a weekend or something, you get to know the people who are kind of organising the events, and then you can fly over. Because I mean, it's a lot. Well, air travel in Europe, I think, is a lot cheaper than in America.
Cheaper.
In America.
So I was in. I was. I don't remember where I was, and I was trying to get to. Where was I trying to get to probably Gran Canaries.
Okay.
It was either Gran Canaries or Italy, and I missed my flight.
Yeah.
I missed my flight. I fell asleep at the terminal.
Oh no! So you were there,
and they didn't wake me up. Like, they didn't wake me up. So I'm just sitting there, and they didn't wake me up. But it was just so I was so shocked that it was just so cheap to fly. From where I was to wherever I was going. Yeah. And I made it.
So you got another flight?
Yeah, I got another flight.
Yeah. That's good. But it is super cheap, so that makes it possible for things like, I know other people who kind of will go somewhere for the weekend and then play and then come back. So head over on Friday night somewhere like, I know, Poland, Germany, and then come back
in Poland. Poland's super cold.
only in the winter. In the summer, it's probably hotter than England, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, when I went to England, I was in Portsmouth for a week, and it was just super gloomy.
Portsmouth is a gloomy place.
Gloomy, muddy, gloomy, rainy. You know, the food was okay, the beer was okay, but outside of that, it was just nothing to do.
I guess compared to Florida.
Is that like the armpit of the UK?
There's a few of those. Probably more in the north, like a lot more in the north, I think. But my northern friends hate me for saying that.
Yeah. So do you have so as far as the community that you're in, like, is it for you guys? Is it small? Is it big?
I mean, there's a lot there. Like, I've got my little kind of group of people that I tend to go to kind of raves with and out with and stuff. And we've got a little like WhatsApp group that we all kind of organise doing every like weekend. So like we kind of tend to stick together. But I think there's lots of different. There's not like a big clique of DJs or anything that I know. Like, I think people have their own groups and stuff. It's not like, well, unless you're kind of maybe like top level, I don't think all the like DJs hang out together or something like that. They'll have their own like people. And
so who's running things over there now, as far as like who's running the scene and things like that? Two Room still controlling it?
Yeah. I mean, they were definitely a couple of years ago, but I'm not sure now because I think things are moving maybe a bit towards techno
It's
and
growing.
yeah, and drum code. I don't know if you had drum
Oh
code.
my God, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so that's huge at the moment in England. They've got did a festival in June, like a 2-day festival. It's absolutely huge. I don't know how many people were there, thousands and thousands. But yeah, an all-day festival, like midday to 10 p.m., which for techno in the middle of the day is like
Strong.
not something you expect. But it's sold. I think it's sold out both days. But
They always sell out though.
Yeah.
Like when you look at like the videos, like the long hundreds of thousands of people under a bridge.
Yeah.
That's where it's at.
No, it's true. Yeah. So I think drum code's probably the biggest kind of thing at the moment in England, but who knows what will be next year. Yeah.
But I mean, when you look at the history of the music and the sound and things like that, it's always like that rave culture was. I can't think of where it was. I just saw it. I just watched and read up on it just not too long ago. But the rave culture, it kind of began there, like the actual rave culture. You know, where everybody was wearing like the smiley faces and the acid and things like that.
Yeah, I think also the late 80s, early 89 and stuff like that,
And it was just...
Yeah.
It was crazy, It was just a lot of, when the American DJs came over there, it kind of like...
Yeah.
It made a big difference in, the music scene, and the culture what you guys are doing. But now it's still going.
Yeah. I mean, the big thing was that if they obviously made that illegal, like kind of just in the early 90s. But I think kind of the illegal rave scene is kind of popping back up again. I think.
Yeah, the underground. You're getting chased by what do you call it, coppers?
yeah, basically.
Coppers wearing what do you call it? I can't think of what's the high vis.
Oh, I think there's
the high vis. The
yeah, I know what you mean. The white and black check.
The flashlight. The coppers.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
So it's coming back, and I mean, like, are you a part of that underground scene? Are you trying to dig into it more, or were you trying to be in it with that?
Yeah, no, I definitely would like to be in that. The thing is, these people, like, they've been doing their parties for. It tends to be the same kind of. They run their own parties, so they play every time. Yeah. But I mean, it's great to go to, fun to go to, amazing, like great atmosphere, and just dance until all through Saturday night, Sunday. And,
really?
Yeah.
So what's the cutoff time for parties? I went to Egg, like. I left from Egg because I had to go to. I left from Portsmouth to Egg, right?
Yeah.
And then I went from Egg to. And I went from Portsmouth to Egg. It's 3 a.m. Straight to the airport.
All right.
I fell asleep at that airport too.
No wonder. Yeah. No.
I fell asleep. I actually hit the London Bridge.
All right.
No. Was it? Yeah. I hit the London Bridge a little, and I kept going.
All right.
Yeah, it was a tough night. I fell asleep. I fell asleep at the gas station. So it was a rough one.
Yeah, no, it sounds it. No, I think in the UK we've got like 24-hour drinking laws. So as long as the council approves the club to be open that late, they can open to whenever they want, basically. So Egg, I've been at Egg till like 8 a.m, and I've left at 8 and it's still been going. But I've been like, I'm done for now. But
because you can lose track of time in that place. It's so dark.
Definitely, yeah, exactly. But yeah, because so it just depends on kind of the council giving them licenses. And I went to a talk by the people who own Village Underground, which is another pub, another club, and they said the thing is justifying to a council why that they should let you open until like 7, 8 a.m. without saying that people are going to be high and like how do you justify that to the council?
And the funny part is it's about being high. Give me 1 second. Mm-hmm. We're back. All right, there we go. So what I was saying was the funny thing, was, and we talk about, them trying to get a justification.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say what club, but I was in a club and the guy walked up with like a whole 8-ball of Coke. He's like, you want some? And that's when it really opened my eyes to it. I was like, oh, this is like,
Yeah.
I was like, bro, I'm not going to tell anybody. He was like, all right, good, And I realized, like in that scene, like it's strong.
Yeah.
Not to have like a bag, like a key for a bump or something. This was like,
Yeah. No, yeah, that. I guess that is true.
But that pushes it though.
Yeah, I guess so. And you get people who kind of come into the music through that way. I think people who are kind of uni college, just looking for kind of somewhere to go out and like.
But they're right. It's a university right across the street from Egg, right?
Yeah, there is. Yeah,
literally like up the stairs, right?
Yeah, I can't remember which one it is, but yeah, there's definitely there's one really nearby.
I saw loads of them.
Yeah.
Coming across you, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
It's right by college.
But I think a lot of people come into the music through that, so they'll go and they're, in uni just because their friends are going, and then afterwards they'll be like, oh, this is,
Yeah.
Yeah, and then keep, like, staying on the scene, but yeah.
Nice. It's, I think, as far as, like, because, I never really been, like, that deep into I didn't get into the underground,
Yeah.
I got to come back and you're going to take me.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Yeah, I come back, you're going to take me, So it's, I assume it's different, Here is, it's a lot. Like, tech house is everything.
All right, yeah.
Yeah, Techno has its own vibe, too, but,
yeah.
Necessarily when you speak of the Orlando and,
underground,
underground is, it's techno, but the tech house scene is just like, we can go all night.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, there's definitely still, places like that in England, but I think it is, like, I think a lot of people just got sick of tech house. There was about 3 years of just, like, tech house, and then I think people are kind of moving towards
Is that, like, not, I mean, Two Room's always been there, but they were, like...
Yeah, they was huge for, ages.
Yeah.
They still are, but I mean, not kind of as,
What other labels what other London labels that are really getting into the midst of things and getting down and dirty?
I mean, in terms of techno labels, I'm trying to think. Well, Drumcode's Swedish anyway, but I know, in terms of house, Defected. I don't know if you had Defected,
I fancy Sam.
Yeah, I think everyone does it. But
I fancy Sam, yeah. She doesn't know it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, Defected are great. They've got a festival in September that I think I'm probably going to go to.
Is that not the Croatia, is it?
No, they're
Croatia
doing...
already passed, right?
Yeah, they're doing like a one-day thing in UK. Yeah, the Croatia one I think is past all. It's like happening about now, but yeah, they're doing a one-day thing in
When is it?
September. I think whatever the weekend of the 14th or something. But yeah,
okay.
I need to buy a ticket.
Yeah. So the prices to get in, because I know when I got there, it was how many euros was it to get in to Egg? It wasn't too much.
Yeah, I mean, it varies, but £20.
Pounds,
maybe.
I said
yeah,
euros.
20,
Excuse me, pounds.
So
it's a different. It's the. So £20 equates to what USD?
Probably like, maybe 50. No, wait, other way around, isn't it? 25 US dollars, isn't it?
Really?
Maybe. I'm not sure because the
pound is much higher than.
Yeah, well, it used to be a lot higher, but then it's crashed. So I don't really know the exact exchange rate anymore. But it's definitely cheaper for Americans to come to London now than it was 2 years ago or so, or 3 years ago. Made a huge difference. But yeah, they normally do things like if you get there before 12, you can get in for a fiver or for free or something. So to get people in if you can't afford it.
But the underground is just still like how. So as far as you being in that place, in that space, like where do you see it going? Not just necessarily for the scene, but for you, and what you're trying to do and where you're trying to go. Yeah,
I mean, in terms of me, I guess I'm trying to just kind of maybe kind of get more noticed in kind of the London scene.
Yeah.
But also
are you taking your time?
I guess so. I've got some things on and kind of other things kind of interrupting, but. Yeah, I think when it gets when I get back to England, I'm definitely gonna try and ramp it up and kind of get more gigs going on, more kind of social media presence, you know, all the things that go with it.
But that's key, right?
Yeah.
Because I think on your Instagram you got like 500 followers with no pictures.
Yeah, I know. I'm awful with Instagram. As in, by awful, I mean I'm non-existent.
with 0 pictures though.
Yeah.
Like
yeah. I know. No, I kind of tend to use Facebook.
Okay.
But everyone in the US always says Facebook's dead. Facebook's dead. Whenever I've come over here, everyone's been like, "No, Facebook's dead." But I don't know what you think.
Well, how old are they?
Oh, I don't know, young, 20s. You know, yeah. Everyone's like, "Facebook's dead. You need to use Instagram," and I keep saying, "Yeah,
You gotta use both.
Yeah,
you gotta use
yeah,
both to your advantage.
so.
You know.
But yeah, I also find SoundCloud's pretty useful. Like recently, yeah, SoundCloud's a lot more. You get a lot of people from a lot of places you've never heard of listening to stuff, which
That's dope.
Yeah, but
with the iced out techno chain, where can everybody find you on social media?
Okay, so I'm at Lightgal UK, so that's LIGHTGAL UK, and that should be the same for Instagram,
Everything,
Facebook.
all the way from UK.
Yeah.
So what's next?
So what's the next? I think I've got a gig coming up in September, one in London. I think like a warehousey sort of thing, kind of underground.
Yeah, you'll fit right in.
Yeah. And then a few more gigs lined up, and then kind of just, I guess, planning for kind of the autumn kind of season and like what's going on there and stuff.
So with the UK, like in the UK, do you guys really, as far as a DJ, are you doing opening sets, or is it just like you play?
So it depends on the kind of level. So say when I did Ministry of Sound, that was kind of a upstairs, like this room 2 kind of set. But I've played a few like events, headlining and stuff like that. So depends on the size of event. So I've done a bit of both, and obviously you kind of tailor your set depending to what the time slot is and things
Warehouse,
like that.
what are you gonna play?
Warehouse. I mean, I haven't got received my slot yet, so we'll see.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's a good slot, and then I can
But but even still for the opening, like, so at what time, like, are you guys like a late crowd or early crowd?
So in terms of, I mean, I'd say probably people don't normally go out and stuff till like midnight or say midnight. So if people are going out to a club somewhere like Egg or somewhere like whatever, you wouldn't probably go till like midnight or so.
Midnight. Oh yeah, because they do run until 8 in the morning.
Yeah, so you wouldn't, if you got there when doors open at 10 or 10:30, you'd be the only person in there.
Yeah.
They probably wouldn't have even bothered turn the bar yet or anything, or pouring in drinks. But it tends to be kind of late. Not as late as places like Spain though. I mean, they don't go out till like 2 a.m. I think or something. I went to Barcelona once. I think a club called, it was Moog or something like that, a like kind of techno house club. Yeah. And I got there at like 12 and it was dead. I thought, oh god, this must be a really bad night to come. Like it's really, and I got just to the point I was going to be like, right, I'm going to go back to the hotel. Normal people start coming in. I was like, oh wow, okay, I'm ready.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think a lot later in some of the places in Europe, and then Berlin, just like I think their club's just open for like 2 days. Start on Friday, shut on Sunday. Evening and stuff like that. But yeah.
Nice. So what's next? You said September.
Yeah. So kind of September, kind of just organising more gigs. I've got a new mix that I'm going to release. So I've got a series of mixes called Derelict Techno, and so Derelict Techno 5 is going to come out at some point soon.
Okay. Are you getting into the production side of things too, because you're a musician, right?
Yeah. So I have been producing, but I haven't really got anything I'm totally happy with yet, or anything to put out. I wouldn't want to put out something that I'm not happy with or anything like that. So definitely gonna keep on with the producing to like get to a level where I'm like, right, I'm actually happy with this.
Nice.
Let's see what happens. But
dope.
Yeah.
Well, you can find you at Lightgal UK on all platforms. Thank you for coming all the way from London to sit and talk to me. Like, there was like a fantastic set. It was a fantastic time, and I really appreciate it.
Cool.
Even just scouting me out.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, okay.
Well, thanks for having me, and
of
thanks
course.
for having me come in.
I'm coming to London.
Oh yeah, you better.
I am. I'm coming to London. You're gonna show me the real underground scene. Thank you for coming.
Cool. All right.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.